Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 3 of my career mode series. So starting off in this episode, quite a few things happen in this episode and some weird things happen in this episode towards the end. But jumping into the first league game of the season against Southend, and I thought it would have been an easy win, but starting off the game in the 3rd minute again, I believe we seem to get quite a lot of luck in the 3rd minute. Starting off with a nice attack, putting in Toza, I believe that's his name, that's such a funny name. And Akinfenwa just unluckily fails to get the header to it. But this game was pretty end-to-end and we both had even chances. But here Southend get the best of me and split my defence in the 10th minute, but luckily place it wide. And I can't believe he did actually miss it from there, but Akinfenwa does a lovely turn and shoots at goal. And just unfortunately misses. But coming towards the end of the first half, they do flash it across the face of goal. But unluckily for them, nothing avails from that. So it is still 0-0 at half-time. But then in the 70th minute, Southend go and put the ball into the back of the net. I'm not too sure how that even got past my defence, how he outmuscled me, but he did. So I decided it was time for some changes indeed. So we went and swapped some players around, but in the end it didn't have any difference to the game. And we did lose the first game 1-0. So as you can see here, just reading through and reading all what they're saying about me in the press. And I did just level up on EA Sports. So the fans are looking towards the second league game for me, but I believe this is a Capital One Cup game against Notts County, and once again I did believe that this was going to be an easy game, so I play it from the outside of the box to Hughes, I believe that's his name. I'm just going to pronounce it like that from now on, and he takes a long shot. Unfortunately the keeper just gets his hands to it, but this game was pretty much just really annoying for me. I was getting the ump in the end. I was really getting angry at this game because I really did think that I would be able to pull off some wins against these teams. But as I said before in the last episode, or the first episode, that playing with a 1.5 star team isn't too fun at all. But Notts County there with a chance. Luckily my keeper saves it and I just clean up the mess from the back. But in the 60th minute they bomb it down the wings, put in a cross, and Bishop, I believe his name is, gets his head to the ball and puts it into the far post top corner, and there was nothing my keeper could do about that. So it was 1-0 to Notts County with 5 minutes to go. They split my defence again and then they just slot it home for the 2-0 win against me. And I was really disappointed about this because I wanted to go far in the Capital One Cup, as it's just another piece of silverware for the club. So that was the end of that game. 2-0 defeat against Notts County. Not too happy. So at this point I did tweet out whilst I was playing this session if it's cheating if I bought the financial takeover, but I obviously wasn't planning on buying any amazing players or anything like that. So as you can see now, I'm just going into the catalogue. So a few of my Twitter followers did tweet back and say it's not cheating. So I decided to go and buy the financial takeover. But this is where you'll be confused, because at the end of this episode, my disc did go unreadable. And when I started back up my career mode, it didn't save that I did have the financial takeover. So I'd wasted 2,500 EA Sports coins and didn't get anything in return for that. So at the minute we just got 40 million from the financial takeover, as we've been bought by a load of rich owners. So at the minute I'm just searching for a new goalkeeper with the 40 million. I did change around the transfer budget allocation just so we had enough for wage budgets. But we did find this no-faced keeper, and he had pretty good all-round stats. I think they was all in the yellow. I believe he's the second goalkeeper on the list, but at this point I was just scrolling through. So I decided to go back and put a bid in for him of, I think it was here we go, we have 1.7 million, or do I change it to 1.8? Because it does say 1.7 and 2 million. So I decided to go like a quarter of the way there and put 1.8 million in. So that is the first bid that I have put onto a player with this financial takeover, even though it doesn't count. So the next thing I looked for was a centre-back, because the centre-backs in my team aren't the fastest of guys. They are all quite slow. I think the maximum pace is like 60 odd something. So I was searching for a centre-back with sprint speed of above 70. So we just done that, and we got it going, searching for a centre-back, and it takes quite long to search on this game, even though I don't know why. So we're just scrolling through the centre-backs in a minute who have 70 plus sprint speed overall, and at the minute I was just looking for someone with good stamina as well, because all my players are getting quite tired. So we find this guy called Kadamuro, 70 rated overall, not too expensive, 1.3 million, and he does have all-round good stats, and he's only 24, and he does have amazing stamina, bright green stamina. Next thing we look for is a centre mid. I'm just basically trying to find a key player for every role in the team, and we do find a cracking centre mid for the team. I believe here he is, Berisha. So I was going through his stats, and he's got 3 bright green stats. He's only 19 and he's 70 rated overall. So I decided to put a bid in for him because he could be a star of the future for 2.6 million. It's pretty expensive for a 19-year-old, I would say. But the next thing we looked for was a left mid, due to the fact that our Demon Tagnak, he did get injured in the second episode or the first episode, I'm not too sure now. I've got the worst memory in the world. So I did sign a free agent, but he just wasn't cutting it, he wasn't making chances, and he just wasn't doing the job I wanted him to do. So I was searching for a new left mid, and we do come against a bloody good bargain. This guy has all green stats. He's 23, 70 rated overall, and he is a pace demon. And I believe I put a bid in for him for 950,000, so that's not even a million for a good player like this. And I put a bid in for Everton there, so hopefully we could get him. But as I said at the end of this episode, you'll see that it did go unreadable, so none of these bids did count. So next thing we looked for was a striker to part with Akinfenwa up front. And we do find this guy called Luan. He's only 21 years old, and look at all those bright green stats. And this guy was an absolute bargain too, as you can see, between the range of 500,000 and 1.2 million. So I put a 700,000 bid in for Luan. I believe, was he Brazilian? I'm not too sure, but he does look absolutely brilliant and could be a star of the future. And I just want to tell you guys that you should look out for the no-faced players in career mode, because they often turn into absolute beasts. So as you can see now, just going through, not searching, just advancing through the career. So I decided to put praise or motivate my team. Yeah, I motivated my team just to see if it had any effect and see if we could get a win in the next match. So when I decided to go into the next match, this is where I was just changing about my formation tactics, because I realised the 4-4-2 flat really wasn't doing it for me. So I decided to go back with having a centre attacking mid just for the extra attacking support. And I decided to change out, I think it's Robinson for Guttridge, as he had faster sprint speed. But as you can see here, this is when I start going into the game, and it just goes unreadable, and I was pretty annoyed at this point. But that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And if you want me to carry on the series, as always, leave a like and comment if you have any suggestions of what players I can buy. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.